Valentine's Day is 2 days away. If the holiday has you thinking about wedding bells, well, you're not alone. Local wedding planners say business is booming despite a nationwide decrease in marriages. KSPY News reporter Melissa Newman is live in the newsroom with more. Melissa?
Karina, wedding planners I spoke to today tell me the variety of venues is what keeps people attracted to the Central Coast as their wedding destination. However, many businesses say about 90% of those customers are from out of the area.
KRAMER Events, this is Melissa.
Wedding planners say the wedding industry has been a wild ride the past few years, with marriage rates declining and even large mainstay businesses like David's Bridal having to file for bankruptcy. Much of the blame is put on millennials, both not choosing to get married and also no longer spending as much on the wedding itself.
For me personally, I'm a millennial, and I do know millennials do tend to they're holding off on marriage, they're living together longer. So I think that statistic will change in the next 5 to 10 years because, eventually marriage will be important again for my generation.
Here on the Central Coast, businesses say the wedding industry is booming, with the average couple spending over $50,000 on their big day.
They're not really, I wouldn't say low budgets at all. They're really going for that classic timeless wedding that is very turnkey and beautiful, and then that could be anywhere from, I would say on average, like 60 to 100 grand. I mean, it just depends on what they're doing.
Much of the draw, however, is not from local couples, but rather people from out of the area. Local vendors say only about 10% of their business is from people who live on the Central Coast.
We're right in between San Francisco and LA, so we're pulling a lot of our bride and grooms from the larger cities who want to come out and enjoy a different atmosphere than the city.
Venues like the Cliffs Hotel and Spa in Pismo Beach say they had previously seen people start straying away from resort-style weddings, but recently the demand has returned.
For us being a hotel resort venue, people are wanting to come back and have kind of the all-inclusive vacation feel for their weddings and a little bit more classic.
As for the extremely popular barn wedding, places like the White Barn in San Luis Obispo say they are working to differentiate themselves from other barns in the area.
We are one of the largest barns on the Central Coast, sitting at a little over 5,500 square feet. We also are a white barn, which there are a couple other white barns, but we are a modern, clean, rustic barn here on the Central Coast.
Now, when choosing a date for your wedding, planners tell me to be flexible and to try to give them as much notice as possible. However, the Cliff says they recently pulled off a wedding with just 2 weeks' notice. Live in the newsroom, Melissa Newman, KSPY News.
All right, Melissa, thank you. And according to the American Community Survey from the U.S. Census, young adults say a lack of economic security plays a role in the decline of young people tying the knot.